tired of traditional methods for cutting? Then you need an AccuQuilt die cutting machine. AccuQuilt offers 3 amazing machines, the Mark III, Mark V, and Grand Mark II, that can cut up to 10 layers of paper in just one pass through the machine. But paper isn't the only material you can use. In just a matter of seconds, you can cut craft foam, chipboard, cardstock, and more. These beginner-friendly machines all include their own die tray to securely keep an AccuQuilt die in place as it passes through the machine. The handles are easy to turn, no more sore hands from using scissors or rotary cutters. And perfectly cut shapes will come out the other side every time. Any teacher or creator can cut out dozens of perfect projects in just minutes. AccuQuilt has thousands of die shapes to choose from for endless creativity. Upgrade the way you teach and create with an AccuQuilt die cutting machine.
Get ready for some farm fresh fun with the Go Tractor Die. This 6x12 die board will work with any Go fabric cutter and is bursting with 7 unique and complicated shapes that all fit together to build the tractor of your dreams. From the basic body of the tractor to the detailed wheels, these shapes would be difficult and time-consuming to cut by hand, but they are easy to harvest using this die. You'll be building a farm full of these tractors in no time. Use them to embellish quilts, wall hangings, and more. The tractor is sized perfectly to work along the Go camper, the Go pickup, and of course the Go farm animals. The Go tractor is sure to cultivate your creativity because at AccuQuilt, we help you cut time so you can quilt more.
Hello, quilters. Today we're wrapping up our first of 5 AQS and AccuQuilt-Alongs for 2024. Stay tuned for some show and tell fun. Hello, welcome to AccuQuilt Live. Today is part 4, the final episode of the AQS and AccuQuilt-Along making the grapefruit slice throw quilt. Now today we're going to be doing some show and tell and looking at some of your creations. Now you may have noticed the lovely and talented Miss Pam is not on the set with me today. She is visiting our friends at Missouri Star Quilt today, so I am left on my own along with my amazing live stream team. I will be doing live question and answer all throughout the show. The team's going to send me the questions that you want answered, so be sure to ask any questions that you have all throughout the show in the comments section wherever you're streaming our show. Now quilters, if you're just joining us on this quilting journey, we got started by introducing this project back on January 31st on AccuQuilt Live and in our blog. Now we started then 2 weeks later on Valentine's Day with cutting and organizing our pieces. The following week we sewed our blocks, and then last week Pam and I went over setting squares and triangles, laying out our quilt tops, and a little discussion on ways to quilt and bind the project. Now, all of our live events are recorded, so you can go back and watch them on our website, Facebook page, and also our YouTube channel. You'll also find a blog post that I've written for each week on our website. Now, AQS has also had a blog post, and they have been including that updated information by adding it to the end of their original blog post that introduced this quilt along. So they will also have a fresh post starting all the wonderful projects that you all are creating and posting to show off on social media. Okay, I finished my top last night, so here it is. So here is my top. I'm just gonna put it down here on the table. There we go. So we can take a look and turn my corner back. And yeah, and I'm just really happy with how it turned out. I really love the blues. I still haven't decided on, I have decided to do a flange binding. I haven't decided with the navy on the outside, I haven't decided whether I want this blue, or the white on the inside flange. I think I'm leaning towards this, but I'm not 100% sure. Now, Miss Pam, she did not leave her top with me, so I do not have Miss Pam's top to show off to you this week. So maybe we can talk her into putting a picture of it on the AQS Quilting Project Parade Facebook group. Now, like I mentioned at the beginning, go ahead and ask any questions that you might have. Put them in the comment section so that I can answer them as we go along in the show. So I have to tell you, it made Pam and I both very, very happy to see how many of you took the advice that we give all the time and made test blocks. So did you watch the intro reel before we got started? We had lots of amazing blocks that we showed there and quilts, even some of your test blocks, because they were fantastic looking. They really were. Some of you used the fabric you were going to use in your project. Some of you used scraps, you know, whatever's handy. It's a great time and way to use that, right? And it's a great way to use up fabric maybe that you don't love if you're just testing something out. Some quilters will make all of their test blocks out of the same fabric, so then they can pull them together into a sampler quilt. So as quilters used whatever they had handy, some of them were scraps, as I said, and some of you decided to go with a scrappy look. So let's take a look at a couple of projects right off the bat. Okay, so Kathy B, so cute, so fun, really bright colors, great combination. She did like light and dark, or with the red, it's a print and a solid. I love that. I really like that. It's so cute and fun. And then Paula used same background, the same centers, but then she did 30s reproduction fabrics in a scrappy look. And I have to admit, then I was mad that I didn't do that because it looks so fun. Okay, the allergy bug has got me. So we saw a lot of you personalizing your projects to really make them your own. So let's take a look at some of those projects. Now, Francie, I know since I pulled this picture, you have finished your table runner, and it looks stunning. But this is a great thing about this Quilt-Along. We have lots of great patterns that include the tangled star block. And Fran decided she didn't have time to make the whole project, but she really liked the looks of this table runner pattern. So that's what she made instead. Now look at the next one. Oh wait, can we go back? Sorry, I didn't talk about Lisa's yet. Thank you, Mr. Kenyon. So Lisa changed hers up, and she added really cool sashing and cornerstones. And I think that it looks like she used cornerstone, she made little square and a square blocks. Isn't that fun? It really pulls out. It almost makes it look like those blocks are set on point, but we know they aren't. Okay, now we can go ahead. Okay, so Sonia made hers kind of in blues, but blues and grays. You know, that gray background. Gray backgrounds are really big right now. They're a real way to take a traditional block and give it a modern feel. And Susan, and this is really clever, and it hadn't even occurred to me. Sometimes, you know, we all get kind of in our rut. I love how Susan pulled together her fabrics in different ways, right? So instead of just using her background fabric from her blocks for her setting triangles and her setting squares, Susan went ahead and pulled a print out to put in those setting square areas, and then she pulled the accent color from inside the block for the setting triangles. Very clever. Look how different it looks than the one on the other side of it. Both gorgeous, both totally different, both basically with the same pattern. Sonia added another row on the end of hers. It's all about fabric, color, and placement. All right, had to include this one. So Betty Ruth made this a couple years ago, but that doesn't mean we don't still love it, right? She added more setting squares to hers and this great kind of ribbon twist border. Isn't that fun? Had to include that. So fun and very Halloween-y, even though Miss Pam isn't here, right? Okay. Well, after seeing the one that Betty Ruth had made, which got me thinking about Halloween and Pam, I started looking for quilts made for different holidays. So let's pull up Deanna S. Okay, super cute, absolutely adorable St. Patrick's Day fabric. If you look really closely, those are tiny little shamrocks. And then she did hers, and she added applique to it in those setting squares. She made it a little bigger. She added the shamrock and some St. Patrick's Day gnomes with hats like in the shamrock fabric. Super cute. Be sure you check those out. Janet, I don't know if you planned this for St. Patrick's Day or not, but after I saw Deanna's with the green with the gold, then that's just what yours looked like for me too. But I do love the dark green and the two tones of gold on that. Really sets it off. But again, very kind of similar, but colors flip-flopped. Great to compare blocks. And then this one, Becky J. Again, I don't know if you considered this St. Patrick's Day, but it certainly would work for St. Patrick's Day in my book. This is really fun. Again, we've got kind of two-tone gold. We've got some great green fabric going there. Looks like it might even have a little bit of metallic going on in it. Isn't that fun? Okay, be sure you keep sharing your progress with us. Even if all you have done is a blog, be sure you keep sharing your progress with us. We want to see it on that AQS Quilting Project Parade Facebook group. Pam and I are still looking through all your posts and commenting. We'll still be sharing pictures of our progress, and you want to be sure to use the hashtag AQSews when you do that so that we can all find all the Quilt-Along pictures. You never know, we might even drop some hints about the next Quilt-Along, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. Okay, so I'm checking. I don't think we've got any questions going on. Brock, stop me if I'm wrong. I don't see any questions yet. So we've talked along the way about using the space in those setting triangles, this open space that we have here, for some applique or embroidery. So let's talk about and take a look at what some quilters have done. Now, this is Carolyn B. And, okay, totally Halloween. Yes, you're right, Pam loves it. She loves it so much. But look, she used bats in there. She alternated her box. They're not all the same fabrics, but they're similar fabrics. They're all in that same orange, yellow, black family. And she added bats from our cat and bat die. I love it. Now, next to that is Nancy C. And she's used Very Hungry Caterpillar fabric. So if you're familiar with that children's book, there is fabric that has been designed to go along with it. And I think it's super cute. But I have to tell you, we have an embroidery sample that would be perfect for that. I'm going to show it to you in just a minute. Okay, Brenda has finished her quilt since I took these pictures. And this is what she decided to do. So she took that brown fabric and appliqued the deer head into her setting triangles in that same brown fabric. Then what she did to finish it off was to do a narrow green border, the green you see there, and then a wider brown border. It looks super. Be sure you check it out on the website. Okay, here is what I want to see on that Very Hungry Caterpillar quilt. Isn't that cute? It's one of our downloadable embroidery designs. It's called the Go Caterpillar, and it's by Specialty Designs, available for purchase and download on the website. But I automatically thought about this. It would be perfect for that, wouldn't it? Okay, now, there are so many great applique shapes and embroidery designs to choose from. Oh, look, we have my little Lego sewing machine that I built out here. If you want to really throw your grandchildren for a loop when they're playing Legos, use their Legos to make a sewing machine. You'll totally confuse them. It was great. So, let me check. Okay. So, great applique shapes. You can take your clues from the fabric you're using, or from who you're making it for, or for the room it's going to hang in, or for the season. Got so many great applique dies that would work really well for that. So here's another idea. I saw that Betty H. was choosing colors to match the colors for her granddaughter's competitive cheer team. And immediately I thought it would be great if she used some of that June Taylor inkjet printable products that'll print pictures on fabric to add pictures of the cheer team to it. Now, Betty, I don't know if you're watching, and I know you didn't do that because I've seen your finished quilt since then, and it looks fabulous. But wouldn't that be fun? You could even add it on the back if you didn't want it on the front. It just would be such a great memento. Okay, we've got another one coming up. Now, this is one I begged Brock to enter at the last minute. Karen J. made this, and we've seen Karen's lovely green shed as the background for some of our great quilt projects in the past. But this is a special quilt. This is a tribute to astronaut Jeanette Epps. Now for the center, she actually did print a picture and include it as the centerpiece of the quilt. Those atomic symbols that you see surrounding it are actually made from a custom die that Karen had made for another quilt by Custom Shape Pros. Now, astronaut Epps is currently in space with her first mission on SpaceX Crew 8. And I have to say, as a girl who grew up in, yes, I'm gonna age myself here, I'm gonna say it, the 60s, with the race to the moon, I always wanted to be an astronaut when I was little, and I love seeing that there is a female out in space, more than one. So this was really exciting for me. All right, if you'll also want to be sure you check out AccuQuilt's blog from today. You're going to see some more pictures of quilts in there. And AQS is also going to be updating their post, trying to get as many of you included as possible. So you want to be sure to keep posting your pictures on the AQS Quilting Project Parade Facebook group. Be sure to keep using hashtag AQSews so that we can find all of those pictures, okay? All right, very good. Now, quilters, this is kind of a short and sweet show, but stay tuned. Don't go away at the end. We're going to have those pictures that we ran at the beginning. We're going to be running those again so you can see even more of those quilts. Now, before we go any further, I know what you want to know. If I'm going to give something away. Well, of course I'm going to give something away. We're going to give away $100 in AccuQuilt reward points. So, the lucky winner of $100 in AccuQuilt reward points today is, drum roll please, it's Donna V. from Rathdrum, Idaho. Congratulations, Donna. All right. Don't forget, we've got plenty of special offers available for you on our website. To get an order in, open a new tab in your browser, type in AccuQuilt.com/party to see current deals and to place orders. Now, don't forget too, this is the Go, Star, and Cross, and this is our Die to Try die for the month of March. It's a 10-inch finished block. So that means it's a block on board. All the shapes to make this are on one die board. It'll fit in any Go cutter, and it will finish to 10 inches when it's sewn into your project. Isn't it a stunning block? Now, we talked all about this on our show yesterday, and our experts had tons of great ideas on ways to change the colors up with this block and get totally different looks. Pam and I worked with ways to use the pieces in different ways, so be sure to check that out if you missed it yesterday, and grab one while you can. Now, Die to Try dies, remember, are only available from AccuQuilt.com or from your local AccuQuilt retailer. Okay, you all have been very quiet today. I haven't had questions. I just need to check again, and Brock, you can check too, and see if anybody's got questions for us. Well, I guess you all must have your projects done, huh? Well, before we sign off, I know you all are bursting with questions about our next quilt-along. Now, you don't have to wait very long because we're going to be announcing our next one right here and on our blogs on Wednesday, March 27th. That is not very far from here, is it? We'll start cutting our blocks on Wednesday, April 10th. That's just 2 weeks later. So keep your eyes out for clues on the projects. Now, in the blog post today, I did mention that unlike this project, where Pam and I both used essentially solids, we both actually used grunge fabrics by Basic Gray for Moda, but Pam and I are both using some prints in the next one. And yes, we do already have our fabric all picked out and ready to get started. So it is time for me now to go ahead and get ready for our next show. I hope you've enjoyed participating in this quilt-along or at least seeing everyone's participation and seeing all of these great projects just as much as I have. Now, if you did miss the projects from our earlier countdown, here's another look at those great projects, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks so much for watching. To learn more about your quilting craft, be sure to follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel for live events every Tuesday and Wednesday. You can check out the events page on the AccuQuilt website for more details on upcoming shows. And if you're looking for even more inspiration, visit our blog for exclusive tutorials filled with tips and tricks. And remember, at AccuQuilt, we help you cut time so you can quilt more.
Join us every Tuesday at 12 noon Central Time for launch parties and trunk shows. We're taking next week off, but we'll be back right here on March 19th to bring back a couple of fan favorite dies. You'll want to tune in and see if you've won one of the great prizes that we'll give away during the show. And be sure to join us every Wednesday at 12 noon Central Time for AccuQuilt Live. There's always tons of fun going on. Next time, Pam will be back with Chris, and they'll be whipping up an adorable little Easter project.